Pickacard. Why are you a baddie? What do people admire about you? Here are your options, and I'll see you at your reading.
Okay.
Of this whole thing? Hi friends, my name is Griselle with Toughdolltarot, and I'm here to do your reading. Pile number 1. I'm glad you can join me. First of all, I had to have an excuse just to show you how fun this sweater, yes, it's a sweater, actually is. I thought I would share it with you guys. But anyways, we're here about you. So what do people admire about you but won't say? Pile number 1. What do people admire about you but won't say? Welcome to my fake believe boudoir. Your confidence. So pile number 1, your confidence hands down has people shook. I feel like this is why you're an actual baddie. I feel like regardless of what people think or what people say, you show up as your most authentic self. I feel like it's uncomfortable, okay? And actually, it's a number 32, so I feel like you've undergone a lot of changes. Perhaps like me, you like to change your hair, your style, and things like that, just for fun, because why not? You know, it's temporary. I also feel like you don't really adhere to the laws or the status quo of what's around you. If you feel like being super bougie, you're going to do it. If you feel like dressing down, you're going to do it. If you feel like wearing shorts, it doesn't make a difference. Now, another thing that I feel like people think you're exceptionally... All right. So another reason why people think that you are a baddie but won't say. I think they're scared. True love, come to me. Okay, I feel like people quite easily fall in love with you. And it could be the fact that you are a risk taker. I mean, like, how much risky is it to wear like a new eyeliner or makeup? I like Bailey Syrian. Maybe you like to, I don't know, adorn yourself, you know, do all the things on the external. But I feel like also you come with a fire. And I feel like you have defiance. I feel like also people have tried to like come for you. Let's say like trying to make fun of you and things like that. And I think that you are a baddie and other people think so too, because you have a quick response, because you're quick with it. You're not about to sit back with the effery and allow people to say what they want. And also you're a baddie because you are successful, or at least that's the appearance of what people think that, you know, people just think you're success. Anything that you do turns into gold. But now also when I saw this color, my brain just went squirrel, and I started thinking about the color moss. Well, it's a kind of color, but real moss. And I love moss. I love where I live. There are trees and moss. I should insert a little picture of it, but moss happens to grow on the sides of it and you can pet it. I think it's really beautiful. It's a little bit kind of scary because you don't know what's underneath all that moss too, but it's a lot of fun. So I feel like you're really unconventional. You're very authentic, and it's intimidating people, especially because people are really concerned with like hammering themselves into this little tiny little square to fit everybody else. They're trying to be like everybody else. And pile number 1, you're like nobody else. And we love that for you. Okay. So why are you a baddie? Oh, look, people fall in love with you. You might smell really, really yummy. And if people don't get close enough to smell you, I know it sounds really weird, but if it's not that, then I feel like people look at you and go, I know for a fact she smells good, or he smells good. You could be somebody that's like, you know, I heard prayed up and slay. So whatever that means to you. But with a rose, it's beauty. I feel like there are many, many layers and many pages to your book personally. And people want to know a lot about you. So let's see. Why are you a baddie? Okay, one more for real. Why are you a baddie? For pile number 1. And prosperity. You have success, prosperity, confidence. Oh my goodness. So you have all the good things. And then number 3, people want to cooperate with you. People think that you're going to be successful right away. That you are a trailblazer. I'm a brazier. Like when you braise a chicken or something like that. But anyways, you are a trailblazer, friend. So I definitely feel like people think that you're a baddie because you are quick with it. That you're going to not necessarily jump on a trend. You're going to create the trend. You're going to trailblaze your way through life. And people want to know like what you're up to all the time. So if this sounds like you, or if this sounds chaotically interesting, go ahead and join me for your reading. In 3, 2, 1. We're going to see these, not these. Okay?
For personal reading, please look at the description box below. and I'll see you at your reading.
All right, friend. Pile number 1. Why are you a baddie? So let's just jump right on in, shall we? You have the 7 of Coins with perseverance. And you have the High Priestess. Wow. So right off the bat, pile number 1, I definitely feel like you are a baddie because, as you guys saw during the shuffle, if you watched it, this guy jumped out and it jumped out in the reverse. So I feel like when you put your time, effort, energy, your blood, your sweat, your tears, and you see that you aren't getting anything like reciprocal energy or any gratitude, or it doesn't have to be that you're putting things out there to get something in return, but you're definitely not going to do something for no reason. Pile number 1. And I feel like you are a baddie because the minute your intuition is like, wait a minute, I'm doing too much, you put your foot down and you're like, all right, pile number 1, I need to slow my ish down and I need to take a look at reading the temperature of the room. What does that feel like? I feel like also you're somebody who speaks up for yourself and you keep a lot of secrets. You already know you're a baddie because I feel like you will test the waters. You'll even test people and you'll say something to see if they're going to be forthcoming in their responses. So I think that that's really powerful. I feel like also you could be very, very controversial. You could be somebody who dresses to the hilt. I feel like also there's an air of regality about you. You're kind of like, yep, I'm here. You know, it's like I'm hearing the party don't start till I walk in. But peace, how does this all fit in? Interesting. Brigitte, goddess, in your sacred name, all light within me, peace is flame. Okay, so ultimately, I feel like you vote for peace with the number 9. Maybe that's even stating that you are a baddie because you've had to really encounter a lot of different things and you've had to really rely upon your intuition. And that's really helped you not to act in a irrational manner, because I feel like maybe perhaps you've done things that maybe were quick to the draw and acted against your intuition, against what you knew to be right or true or just. And I feel like in the process, maybe you learn lessons because you wound up hurting yourself, okay? But this makes you a baddie because it's like, I'm hearing even if you're in a fist fight, you kind of know how to take one and give one, right? So I think that that's really kind of a lot to be said about you. It's like you're not afraid to jump into the fray, okay? Also, I feel like your MO could be I break hearts, not nails, okay? So there's something to be said about that. And even though this is giving me a little bit of like lunar vibes, I'm looking at this symbol right here, and I feel like the sun is ever present for you. So again, inner guidance, you could do some like magic, some candle magic as well. What else do I have right here? Yeah, nobody does it quite like you. Also, I'm here, nobody puts it down quite like you. I'm not here for like that kind of a reading. 3 of Cups. Yeah, you know how to party. You know how to let down your hair. You know how to do it right. Gathering. Yeah, when people gather around, they definitely want you present. And I feel like you could be incredibly entertaining. I feel like your outfits are to die for. I also feel like people ask you a lot, or they compliment you a lot. Of like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you know this. And what is it? Where do you get those boots from? And I feel like you're not a gatekeeper as far as that is concerned. Okay. Also, I'm hearing I do this thing called what I want. So there's something about you that's very, very confident. And also if you go to a party, a gathering or whatever, and you wind up saying that, yeah, I'm just kind of not feeling it, I feel like you'll do an Irish exit. So that is all the things that make you a baddie, but not even like marginally. You have so much more. But that's where I'm going to end it for now. If you're liking this kind of reading, please do give me a like, share, comment, subscribe. Much, much love to you. Until next time, namaste.
Okay.
Hi friends, my name is Rosebud with Toughdolltarot Tarot, and I'm here to do your reading. Pile number 2. Why are you a baddie? Why do people consider you a baddie? Well, first of all, I wanted to welcome you into my fake belief boudoir, right? With my fake belief chandelier. And I want to share my really fun sweater. It's a sweater. It's not even a coat with you. But anyways, why are you a baddie? So let's find out about this. I thought it might be a little bit fun to share some stuff with you. Let's see. What makes you a baddie? You have a lot of courage. Wow. Right away, my energy level went from like super playful to almost like revering or super respectful. I feel like you're highly respected, first of all, in your community. And I feel like it's like this angel, they're not carrying a head or anything like that, but it appears like they could, right? They're carrying some kind of a armor. It says, by shining brave and true and bright, my courage now returns this night. And it's like, I feel like people have seen you overcome many difficult things. Some here has been robbed. Somebody here has been robbed. I feel like somebody here has suffered a lot through like SA and other unspeakable things. I feel like you've gone through many, many dark nights of the soul with the number 17 reduced into a number 8. I almost said 28 because I can't count. But I feel like it's relevant. So hold on, friend. I feel like you're incredibly rewarded for all of the things that you have undergone. Now, what I mean by that is like, you're not necessarily, ooh, you know, you got robbed and things like that. I feel like you've learned a lot of spiritual lessons that you share with other people. And it's very important. It's imperative that you realize that people really highly respect you. Now, yeah. Let's see what else we have right here. So we have romance as well. So I feel like you actually can intimidate. You could be like a dark Lilith, right? You could be somebody who's really in touch with your dark self, you know, that you understand that you have to really kind of reconcile your positive and negative polarities, that nobody is completely perfect, that there is no person on this earth currently that is perfect. Also, people, I feel like they fetishize you, okay? You could be somebody that gets fetishized, and I meant to say like romanticize you, and I meant to think, I was thinking like fantasize about you, but fetishize could be a thing. So maybe you are a dark Lilith, maybe you are somebody who looks unconventional, maybe you're a little bit, yeah, different, unconventional. What else do we have right here? And you could smell good as well. Pile number 1 got that card as well. So what else do we have? How and why are you a baddie? You know what? You handle your business. You don't walk around and like call a popo and go, hey, you know, 911, this happened to me. And I feel like you handle that thing, you know, to yourself. I feel like a lot of you guys have undergone things, again, that are unspeakable, and maybe it should have been reported, but you handled it by yourself, and for whatever reason, right? Some of us were children when things have happened, and they weren't reported. I don't know your life. I can't speak to you individually, but I'm just going to say that what makes you a baddie is that you handle business, that in spite of the things that were meant to oppress and depress and crush your spirit have actually served to really, burn the superficial by fire. And I feel like you've risen, okay? You've risen in monumental ways. And this has served to really intimidate people around you. I feel like you could be very, very direct. I feel like you're very ostentatious. Is that a word? Because I'm hearing it. Okay. What else do we have here? Organization. Somebody said that on the crossword, they found the word organization, and they're like, yep, that's not me. I'm like, yeah, me too, friend. I get it. But organization, purposeful planning, efficiency now come to me so easily. Now, friend, I'm going to say that you could be seen as somebody like very strategic. You could be like a great strategist. Also, something about you, even though people feel a little bit ensnared like by your physique, I feel like your energy speaks louder than anything aesthetically, honestly. I feel like you could move like the way you walk. You could walk like a panther. I feel like people would like to get cornered by you. Sorry. They would love to be cornered by you. I'm just going to say that. I also feel like, again, that you handle things on your own. And not to glorify like, ooh, you know, we're like the TV and movies that they handle everything by themselves, and it's, you know, Breaking Bad style or whatever. It's not like that at all. But I definitely feel like people know that you have been through it. And if you have like an offense, you're going to handle business by yourself. And ultimately, I feel like you get vindicated. Take that however it will. Okay. What else do we have right here? Energy. So people love your energy, but look at this. Like she's going like this, you know, and I feel like people get really, really sentimental over you. The number 13 can have some merit to you, some meaning to you. I feel like the number 13, right, is the death card, and I affiliate that a lot with Scorpio. So you could have Scorpio energy or somewhere heavily aspected in your chart. I don't know. But I feel like people think that they would love to be scared by you. I'm going to say that. I feel like you could be a great disciplinarian. I feel like in the legit sense, like, you know, between if you're a parent or something like that, you and your partner, you would be the disciplinarian one, or you would appear to be, okay? I also feel like adults, same and opposite sex, would love to be disciplined by you. Can I say that? I just did. Okay, why are you a baddie? Last card. Because you're creative. You're incredibly creative and nobody can take that away from you. Above all and all below, let me connect, let creativity flow. Yeah, so I feel like even now you are creating, and I feel like your level of creativity knows no bounds. I feel like you can dream. If you can dream it, you can manifest it. This person appears to be like almost like in bed, or initially it looked like a UFO or something like that was trying to take this person from bed. Maybe some of you guys have had like some UFO experiences. I don't know about your life, you know. But what makes you a baddie is that don't mess with pile number 2. And also the number 33, it makes me feel like people really collaborate and cooperate with you easily. So you can enlist the help or the sympathy if need be, right? Of anyone that you choose. So people know not to mess with you because, and now I'm like a little thuggish. Okay, whatever. But people know not to mess with you because you have a lot of people who are willing to step up and out on a limb for you. So with that, we're going to go to your other portion of your reading where you see these, not this, in 3, 2, 1.
If you would like a reading, please check the description box below. Otherwise, I'm going to see you, pile number 2, at your reading in 3, 2, 1. Welcome, welcome. If you're new here, I hope that you find something that's encouraging. And for those of you guys that are indeed my repeat offenders, I'm ever so grateful. Thank you all for being so patient with me while I make some changes. Pile number 2, why are you a baddie? So first of all, I did mention number 28 during your preliminary or intro, if you will. And I feel like the number 28 is giving like you will end anything if it is not good for you. Also, if other people start it, you're going to end it. So you might be the kind of person that wants to have the last word, but the interesting part about you, pile number 2, one of the things that's interesting as well, what makes you a baddie is that you're very quiet. You come from a place of like, you're very quiet and contained. You're not all out there yelling. You're kind of like, well, I said what I said and that's it. You know, it's like you don't care necessarily to receive a response back or to be louder than the next person. You're not here to draw eyes upon you in order to have people like busting out with their phones and, you know, you'll just kind of snip it. And I feel like this really intimidates other people around you. And that's partially what makes you a baddie. So what else do we have on the board here? Pile number 2, destiny. All that I shall need to know as I walk shall now be shown. That was hard to say. Okay. Yeah, but you trust that in due time, you're always going to see whatever it is that you need to see. Okay. I think that's really beautiful. I think it's exciting because you have this like patience. It's like, you know what though? I may want it now. I may want the answer, but with patience, everything is going to be revealed. I feel like also you're somebody who's handled your relationships like this as well. Yeah, because you're very direct. You take the initiative and you give like main character energy. You're not rushing for nothing and nobody. And that's another reason why people kind of are drawn to your energy for sure. And also something about abundance. It's like you're very patient in how things, I heard you're patient with revenge. What? Okay, pile number 2, 5 of Cups and, wait, what are the keywords here? Mourning, okay. And Knight of Coins. Yeah, this has made you very patient. I feel like you're very, number 222 on camera right now. Slow, methodical, strategic is what I'm hearing. But people just don't want to mess with you whatsoever because you've had your fair share of heartache and heartbreaks. You know what it's like to like look back at the past and mourn. And I feel like now perhaps you understand that you can kind of lean on these experiences in order to progress forward in a way that maybe is a baddie attitude or mannerism, but isn't loud. I hope that that makes sense. Yeah, the Queen of Coins doesn't concern themselves with like who even thinks that they're a baddie, right? Luxury, yeah. Queen of Coins is somebody who is familiar with like luxury. She's really labored long and hard and toiled with her own hands, and I feel like she doesn't really depend on a lot of people. Also, this queen is known to be very grounded, very much like, well, you know, this kind of makes sense and this does not, so let's ex-nay this. And that's how you have achieved this level. I heard of stardom, so that's interesting to me. And the King of Coins, what? It's like you're the perfect balance, that male-female balance and provider right here. Yeah. And it's like you could provide like your own luxuries. You could even like to, I don't know, like indulge in things like, for example, like what I do, like my first sweater, which I really loved. I hope you guys liked it too. But you could have a select few pieces that you're like, okay, I'll buy this new for sure. And then maybe perhaps like you repurpose, or you go to the vintage store or whatever it is, and you get other things in order to make sure that your money stretches, but also that you're not adding necessarily more to landfill, or that you're not acting recklessly. I don't feel like you're a reckless behavior type of person at all. But also, one thing about you is that you could have a very soft look as well. Soft as in like, wow, like very beckoning, very welcoming. Like the Queen of Coins is not necessarily flashy either, but what she does have is quality. She has quality items. They're very functional. But I heard soft look and savage soul. Hello. I've been needing a drink. So you definitely have main character energy. I feel like you look rich. And that's why people could really even think that you're a baddie. But regardless, I don't even think that's like a money thing, right? I feel like it's just more of an energy thing. So if this resonates, let me know what you guys think. I feel like you're very self-protective, protective with your foundation also. And it could be like your resources and things like that. And I heard resource guarding. So people can think that maybe perhaps you're a little bit of a resource guarder, a little bit of a protector in that way. Nothing wrong with that. But if people come after your money, they're going to find out what's hot and spicy and what's true. Because I feel like you're going to give them an earful and you're going to stand up for yourself. So yeah, you are the true protector and a true humanitarian. And when it comes to like defending other people, I feel like you're incredibly savage when it comes to that, especially. So that's what I have. Let me know what you guys think. Until next time, namaste.
Okay.
Hi friends, welcome to my channel. My name is Crystal with Toughdolltarot, and I'm here to do your reading. Pile number 3, what makes you a baddie? Now, I thought I would really share with you my fake believe. This is actually a sweater, and welcome you into my fake believe boudoir, just for fun, right? But look at you, pile number 3. It's like Spirit's not even playing with me. Spirit's like, get to the point, and I'm like, got it, okay. The number 38 right away. So we have the number 38. And what makes you a baddie is that you have divine guidance. You know what, though? Anytime you say something's going to happen, boom, it happens. Anytime somebody tries to come for your head, anybody thinks that they're going to kind of put a hex on you or put a spell on you, you know, it might have a little bit of efficiency. I'm getting like right now a game that people are playing. You know how when it says you have like 2% life force and then you can do all these like side quests and then get more life force and things like that. I feel like that's how it works. And well, maybe once in a while they might quote get ya. I feel like anything that they send your way, it gets magnified and it gets flipped around for your benefit. And I feel like in turn, the people that do come for you, I feel like spiritual attacks and things like that. I just got to say it, friend. I feel like people wind up regretting those attacks, the things that they enlist other people for. And it says here, whispers from beings who shine, let their message be clear and kind. So yeah, you're definitely connected to a lot more than what is visible with the naked eye. So the 38 rounds up to an 11, not rounds up, but it reduces to 11. So you could be like a master number 11, or you could have that, you know, maybe you're born on 11, something like that. Maybe you're born in November. I'm on life path 11. But let's see what's going on here. Okay, and I picked these up in the reverse. So I feel like also, yeah, when people question your wisdom, it's going to be something that I feel like you've had a lot of people want to question your wisdom and cause you to fail and watch you. And they're like, oh, did you hear pile number 3? You know, they're always like prophesying this or saying that, or they think that they're connected. But we already know that you have divine guidance, friend. So I would pay that no mind. But people know that you're a baddie because anybody who's within your circle, they know. And also, another thing that makes you a baddie, friend, is that I feel like you're telepathic, is what I heard. You could have prophetic dreams as well. What makes you a baddie? And this is really weird because when you think of baddies, you watch your shows and they're like, oh, well, I'm gonna, you know, go over here to this bar and I'm gonna drink all the whatever, and I'm gonna punch you in the mouth and I'm gonna do all these things, right? And when we think of like baddies, we think of that. But I feel like my group, I feel like you guys are on my channel for a reason. I feel like we're a little bit more spiritual minded. Okay. I'm not saying we're better than anyone else. I'm saying that we're more spiritual minded. That's what I'm attracted to. And I trust that you guys, that's probably what you're attracted to as well. Now, dream sweet and sleep deep. The keywords on here. It says sleep that's deep and lasts till morn. Wondrous dreams for days reborn. Yeah. And this tells me that you could have dreams, those prophetic dreams that are like past life dreams. Friend, I feel like you are very, very connected. I mean, with the divine guidance, there's no way anyone can tell me that you're not divinely connected. I feel like you get messages easily when you sleep. And also, I just heard, Spirit tells me that you would get messages during the waking time too, but you are surrounded by too much EMF, radiation. Yeah, I said it. And also too much social media noise. I'm guilty of that too. So anyways, that is what we're going to start with. If you're interested in this, if it was delightfully chaotic, if you're here for whatever reason, that's fine too. We're going to go ahead and get to your reading. We're going to see these, not this, in 3, 2, 1.
Hi friends, if you'd like to enjoy your own personal reading, please check out the description box below where you can email me and find out all the details. Otherwise, I will see you at your current reading in 3, 2. Welcome. If you're new here, I hope that you find something that is helpful and encouraging. And for those of you guys that are indeed my repeat offenders, thank you guys so very much for being here. I really appreciate all of you guys. Pile number 3. So why are you a baddie? And right off the bat, I'm like, it's always pile number 3. That is my wild card, you guys. I don't know if you're consistently picking pile number 3. You give me a run for my money, I'll tell you that. But why are you a baddie? And I heard, while I was shuffling, by the way, I heard not everybody likes me, but not everybody matters. So let's see what we have here. Success with the number 12. Success that's true belongs to me. Success with honor, integrity. Yeah, you are not afraid of hard work. You're a baddie because you'll roll up your sleeve. You're like, you know what? Let me show you how it's done. It reminds me of one of my cousins who'll actually jump onto the roof and like redo a roof herself. It's pretty badass. Not something I would be able to do, but she's a little bit older than I am as well. So good for her. But the number 12 right here just really tells me also that you could have a lot of people who are evil eyeing you, and yeah, that people want to come for you. But once they see all the work that you put into things and they're like, oh, wow, okay. But initially you could elicit a lot of like hate or aggression is what I'm hearing from other people. I don't know. And you meet that with like a calm and maybe a piercing stare. So let's see what's going on here. The Sun with truth. Yeah. I feel like you are a true speaker. You could be like a one-liner. You could let people kind of like get it out of their system, whatever it is that they have to say. And then you'll come back with a one-liner that'll pierce right through the heart, through the core of the issue, and reveal a lot about that other person, by the way. So interesting. You have a good reputation, a great reputation. And then the King of Cups tells me that you are very intuitive, very psychic. One thing, pile number 3, that you need to watch out for is psychic debris. It's absorbing other people's energy in spite of. I feel like a lot of times you might not even know that you're carrying around other people's energy, okay? So you might want to cleanse a little bit more often than you currently do. That'll really help. Use agua de Florida or get in a body of water, like salt water. The ocean would be ideal. But any body of water would help for sure. Spiritual baths would be really good. But why are you a baddie? Okay. So I also feel like your energy is also like underestimate me. That'll be fun because I feel like inside you have a storm of emotion that people have no idea what they're messing with. And occasionally you might release the valve and that might leave people shooketh. Okay. Page of Coins. Yeah. You're very methodical and what you're gonna invest in, what you're gonna put your time, energy, and effort, your blood, sweat, your tears into. Also, you could be a spiritual baddie, a regular baddie, spiritual as well. I mean, look at her hair. Maybe you wear a lot of hair pieces, a lot of wigs, or different style hair, and you just like to really groom yourself. And I think that that makes you automatically a baddie. And I feel like also people would say of you that you look high maintenance. Well, from what I'm seeing right here is that you maintain yourself actually. So, and it could be that somebody, you know, close to you, like maybe you have somebody who would be willing or does maintain you, but that you are well within your own power to take care of yourself. Like you're not really relying upon other people. And I feel like a lot of this success has come about because of your intuition, by the way. And that makes you a baddie. You're like, oh no, you know what? Let's kind of do this. And you wind up strategizing against people that want to come for you. And I feel like they immediately feel defeated. And what led you to like those, I don't know. It's almost like if you feel like somebody's cheating or somebody's going behind your back or there are people that are talking or there's something going on or somebody's like embezzling. That's for one person out there. I definitely feel like you could be thinking, you know what, I'm going to set up a camera in the lunchroom or I'm going to do this right over here. Or I got a nanny cam that's going to tell me everything that I need to know. But it could be really anything. You follow your intuition, your hunch, your gut intuition really gets you places and it's led you to success. Okay. And why are you a baddie? King of Swords, because you will cut a beat down if you have to. And I feel like you don't do it necessarily on purpose. I feel like you will kind of weigh things out. And you will really think about it because otherwise you would not have this great reputation. So I feel like you're very tempered, very balanced in when you do things, you know? And I feel like you could also like only unleash on people verbally if they come for you, but not even like the first time, not even the second time. It might take a lot for you to kind of lose your cool and I don't even feel like it's losing your cool. I feel like you have like a little kit packed, like you strategize and you're kind of like, oh yeah, well, I do like these bones, you know, and let me tell you a little bit about you, friend. And, when you read people that are rights, they actually smart and people around you could really be kind of like laughing about it or snickering because, you know, it feels to me like maybe you're not one to kind of pop off, but you're like an OG and people don't know that. And it's like, well, they don't know who they're messing with, but let's watch and see what happens, you know? Yeah. Oh, you know what though? I downloaded a couple of things I wrote down. You could be known to be vengeful in the past and no shade on that. Listen, pile number 3, I've been there. Okay. So one thing about me, I'm just kidding, but what came to my mind right away is once upon a time, and listen, don't judge me. This was a long time ago, but I actually took a brick and I threw it through a boyfriend's, window. A brick. Yeah, I did. So I broke his window and I was just like, don't mess with me. And he kind of effed around and found out. And that was the end of that. So I feel like you could have a history, a past like that. And maybe perhaps you were somebody who would like kind of slash tires or key somebody's car or whatever. I'm not saying I'm proud of what I did. I'm just saying that if this sounds like you could remember instances way back when where you perhaps you were like, vengeance is mine, you know, and then now your idea is like, vengeance is mine, saith the Lord, or whomever you believe in, right? So, but people could know that you have a little bit of a past and, yeah, and I also feel like you have self-confidence. Like you're not relying upon a man or a woman or people to like applaud you. And I feel like that's what makes you a baddie. It's like you will be the trailblazer and that you will kind of like mind your own and you're focused on your own money and things like that. And people go, wow, I mean, like you don't even care what we say, what we think. And you're kind of like, no, you know, because I am the secret ingredient. So last card for you, Queen of Coins. Yeah, that's what I felt all along is like you are really a lot calmer. You have an incredible way because you've been hurt in the past and you've been done wrong. I feel you have this way about you with your words, but I feel like you are slow and methodical and you're really focused on what's important. And if people kind of want to like bring this negative energy about, they're quick to find out that it's just not a good idea. Okay. So last but not least, I definitely feel like because of your history and things like that, I feel like there are many more instances that we can talk about, but you know, you can add your own if you'd like in the comments below. It might be entertaining to watch. No judgment zone here, but I feel like something about you really screams, you know, I put the hot in psychotic. And I hope I resemble that remark. At least I try to, okay? I don't think I'm all that, by the way. It's not what I'm saying. I just think that maybe I'm a little bit crazy too, you know? Well, I'm a lot of bit crazy too. So, I don't know. Do that with what you will. But I feel like that confidence is, you know, hands down, very beautiful. So, hey, own it. That's what I have. Much, much love. Until next time, namaste.